speaking of phases,
Yeah.
some changes are coming to Marvel for phase 5, 6, and everything moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney,
Mm-hmm.
he put the rules up on the board.
He did.
He put the rules up. And I'm going to read a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So this article comes from Variety. The headline reads, Marvel will release no more than 3 movies and 2 shows per year, Bob Iger says.
Okay.
Disney CEO Bob Iger says the company is shrinking the MCU with a new mission to drop the number of Marvel TV series to 2 a year and the film output to no more than 3 per year. Iger said this is part of Disney's overall strategy to reduce output and focus on quality. A strategy, quote, that's particularly true with Marvel. I think that's funny, but I'll get to it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He says, we're slowly going to decrease volume and go to probably about 2 TV series a year instead of what had become about 4, and reduce our film output from maybe 4 a year to 2 or maximum 3. He said that on the Disney quarterly earnings call Tuesday. He
Okay.
said, and we're working hard on what that path is.
I think I know you're going to have a lot to say about this. So I'm going to just say my 2 cents real quick because whatever you're going to say is going to be way longer than what I have to say. You're you're not new to this. You're true to this. I am new to this when it comes to Marvel. So I will say my 2 cents. I think this is a great approach. I think that they need to focus on the content. People have not been pleased with the last couple of films that have come out. Again, I am not, by no means am I a Marvel expert. So, I mean, a lot of this is none of my business. But I do think that is not you shaking your head when I said it's not my business. Wow. Rude. So rude. Anyway, I think it's smart to focus on the content. I think when you try too hard to crank out volume, you lose quality. Not always, but often. So I think it's great that. Are you still reading? What-
Yeah, I'm
oh,
listening and reading. Come on.
okay. I think it's great that they're trying to fine tune it and trying to strategize because they were on such a good trajectory for a long time, and I think people were really excited, and I think people will still like show up, but there's been all this talk about like what type of agenda they're pushing, how they're positioning their content, and how social impact is having is having bearing on the content that they produce. I think they really need to take their time and think about what it is that they want to put out and perfect it. Nothing's going to be perfect and not everybody's going to be pleased, but I think if they take a little bit more time on things, and don't get me wrong, I totally understand that all of this is happening over years and years at a time. So I don't want to make it seem like they're Tyler Perry who throws together a movie in 2 weeks. But but
You'll
I,
never forgive him for that, huh?
no, no. I mean, did you see it?
I
Because
did see it.
um
Yeah. Matrimony or some shit. What was it called?
acrimony.
There you go. Acrimony. I saw it. I did. I did.
Right. So Yeah, I feel like it's a good move if 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 you know that you're trying to retain audience and also grow audience, you need to, I think that a big thing for Marvel is the content itself. If you could figure out a strategy on how to release that content and um make people excited about it, not have people end up in a feeling of, wow, Marvel is just in a rut, then, that's a good path forward. So I'm excited to see, what they do crank out and how slowing it down a little bit or focusing more um, will help the brand. That's it. That's all I got. You're about to
Well,
say some really fly shit, like, cause when Thor had left, and then when when
nope,
Iron Man came back.
I'm not. But the article says something that I did think about.
Okay.
It says the announcement is at odds with the most recent release calendar distributed by Disney, which has 4 films from Marvel Studios slated for 2025: Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, The Fantastic Four, and Blade, and 4 more Marvel movies slated for 2026, including the fifth Avengers movie. Marvel is releasing a single film in 2024. Historically, the only time Marvel has released more than 3 movies was in the year 2021 after the studio sat out 2020 due to you know what. So I don't need specs for the rest of this pod, I don't think. So I'm taking those off. I think this is interesting. I kind of said this was coming. Um, I didn't say it on pod, but I spoke to you and other people off pod about Bob Iger. Bob Iger is a longtime CEO of Disney, and he feels that things fell apart when he left. He was gone for a while. They begged him to come back, gave him a pay raise. He came back. I knew changes were coming because Bob Iger don't play. Bob Iger is about the shmoney. Bob Iger is about making things happen. I'm gonna move up just a page. So it's not surprising to me that Bob Iger is sitting here saying, "Hey, we're not doing the right thing with this Marvel IP. We're not putting out the proper types of content. What the hell was going on when I left?" So no, this is not surprising to me. I am just curious how that's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen because they're already playing catch up.
Yeah.
They had a lot of movies that were supposed to come out this year and they pushed them back. They had TV shows that they completely scrapped. They have a bunch of TV shows that they announced and we don't know when they're coming out. So I'm curious what's going to happen. I don't have a lot to say. I'm not surprised, but I'm curious how they're going to do this moving forward. Does that mean that some of the TV shows will never come out? Some of the movies will never come out? Or is this going to be something that happens after Secret Wars? Because Secret Wars is supposed to be happening, if we're sticking to the timeline of when they're putting things out, in 2027.
Mhm.
So I don't know how you do that. They got a lot of stuff to wrap up in the next 2 years because 2024, they're not putting anything else out. That's why I'm not counting 2024.
Yeah.
They said the only movie they're putting out is Deadpool and Wolverine. I still don't believe that, but that's what they keep saying. So if I'm wrong, cool. But that's what they keep saying. So if that's the case, they have a lot of projects to put out in 2025, 2026, and 2027. I guess 3 years. I guess it depends when they drop that Secret Wars movie in 2027. I don't know how they're going to do that with the schedule he wants to put them on. I'm curious how that will affect the things that they have in the tuck, the things that they're working on, and the things they've announced, because they've announced lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think focusing on quality as opposed to quantity is always a good thing, because then you get a better product, even if you get fewer products. And I think less sometimes is more.
Agree.